Is the term pro-choice a conspiracy theory? Last year on my podcast, on the Rookie Marican podcast, I had a show called The Original Intent of Abortion, where I uncovered the conspiracies and the deception behind the pro-choice movement, in addition to interviewing a therapist who specialized post-abortion syndrome. Now, after doing research, I have come to the conclusion that the pro-choice movement is a complete conspiracy, and here's why. In one of the documentaries that I had watched, which was called Roe versus Wade, uncovered the conspiracies behind abortion and the feminist movement. We learned that Dr. Nathanson, a doctor who initially introduced abortion into the United States and had many abortions under his belt, had made up fraudulent numbers and data that was given to the media. Him and Larry, who was also in the documentary, had conspired to make up data about abortions. One of the statistics that they had made up that made it to mainstream media was that there were 1 million illegal abortions done a year, in addition to 10,000 back alley abortions, which he admitted was false. They understood that they had to get this idea going in the media, and they also needed to make sure that the majority thought that life does not begin at conception. They partnered with Betty Friedman, who is the author of La Femme Mystique, also pioneer of the feminist movement, and came up with a slogan so catchy that it would even seem acceptable to pro-lifers. Pro-choice. Choice. A woman's body, a woman's right to choose. Pro-choice, pro-freedom, pro-liberty. Sounds legit, right? Throughout the documentary, it was uncovered that this was all a conspiracy to make the masses okay with abortion. They not only included it in the media, newspapers, news articles, but they also made sure to include it in Hollywood scripts, shows, music, and everything else that goes around in our society. Why? Because repetition is a convincing argument. The original intent of abortion is to get rid of minorities, specifically blacks. So they wanted to make sure that society was going to be okay with this modern day lynching of getting rid of blacks in our society. That was the original intent. The way to get society okay and on board with it was to make it a woman's choice. Dr. Milfred Jefferson, who was the first black woman to graduate from Harvard Medical, was one of the opponents of this movement at the time. She declared that the choosing of the words of pro-choice is evasive, fraudulent, and deceptive. At the end of the day, this is purely political. I don't get into arguments about abortion because knowing that even just saying pro-choice or it is okay for a woman to choose is deceptive. It's a marketing scheme for abortion to be okay to be done in the United States. I, for one, will not be deceived.